Good evening, you're watching Estuary TV News. Coming up, Hull Philharmonic Orchestra is busy tuning up and rehearsing as the concluding concert of the season draws near. Carriage driving in the Wolds, disabled children get the whip hand. And I'll be talking to Jamie Morris about the Fire Brigade and the Prince's Trust, and to Sue Middlehurst and Yvonne Day about a charity day at Grimsby Institute. Welcome to Estuary TV News. I'm Hugh Richards. First of all, it's over to Richard Morris for the news headlines.
Immingham lost a major supermarket quite a few months ago, but that's all due to change this coming Thursday when Aldi opens in the town. The Mayor of Immingham, Malcolm Cullum, is very pleased with the move.
We've waited so long, and since the talk of a supermarket, a big supermarket, is now 10-15 years. And obviously with the start of the precinct and the redevelopment, and then because we've been messed about with Tesco, to have this new store behind us is fantastic.
In a statement, the new manager of the store, Warren Wardby, told us, "We are looking forward to the opening of our new store in Immingham, and we're sure the local community will enjoy our grand opening celebrations. We expect to see plenty of shoppers on Thursday take advantage of our opening week offers." This weekend we'll see 200 heart screenings for young adults. Richard and Donna Fell have been campaigning for heart screenings for all between the ages of 14 and 35. Their son Josh passed away playing football with his friends from an undiagnosed heart condition. The screenings were fully booked in very little time and is the result of much hard campaigning. Last weekend they hosted a charity football match and auction to raise money for the charity.
We're very grateful to people. It's still now, after nearly 4 years, that the generosity of local people and businesses has been fantastic. We made just over 10,000. That included Dean Windas's Man of the Match trophy from Wembley, which has ended at 3,500. We made 2,000 on our signed auction, and then the rest was from tombolas, raffles and sponsorship, which we'd already got from local businesses before the game.
Do you want to take a look at some of the region's oldest and most interesting buildings? The Festival of Churches runs from the 9th to the 10th and the 16th and 17th of May.
We've got some beautiful churches, and the sad thing is most of them are locked. And I think that's a real shame, and this is why the festival began, to get people to unlock their churches, at least just for a weekend, so people can come and look at them.
If you want more information, then you can go to www.churchesfestival.info. That's all from me for now, and I'll be back with more news soon. If you've got any news for us in the meantime, then please let us know on Grimsby 01472 31553. Bye for now.
Hull Philharmonic Orchestra takes to the stage this weekend. The final concert of the season will feature music from the Romantic period by those tuneful and dramatic composers Berlioz and Sancerre. Our reporter Erica Barker is in tune.
In 1881, the Hull Philharmonic Orchestra was formed. It now has more than 80 members, including local professionals and amateur musicians alike, boasting a history of many going on to huge successes in the classical world. Musical director Andrew Penny has been at the helm for more than 30 years and was awarded an MBE for services to music.
Of all the orchestras around, we're probably the one that sets the bar the highest. We do 3 concerts a year and 10 rehearsals for each concert, but we work with a high standard of guest artists and guest conductors when they come in. So we're probably thought of to be one of the more ambitious orchestras in the north of England. We have a lot of young players join the orchestra from perhaps the Hull Youth Orchestra or the East Riding Youth Orchestra who come through. They have to pass an audition, so the age range could be between middle 70s down to 14. So it's a very big age range, and some are with us for a short term, but we also have people who've been with the orchestra for 25, 30 years.
Currently I'm a music student at Hull University, so part of my kind of degree is to go out and play, especially in the community, and we're kind of encouraged to take as much as we can out of like extracurricular activities. So it means I'm mixing with like really good musicians, and the kind of rehearsals stretch you and you really like get something out of it every week. It's fantastic. It's like purpose-built venue. There's all rehearsal rooms upstairs that you can use if you need them, and it's like really worth having and quite unusual for like a community to have one.
It's a really incredible experience to play with such a high level orchestra, because youth orchestras, they're good, but it's just a different experience. It's really nice just to have that mix of like abilities and ages, and you get to gain a lot of like, I don't know, wisdom from the older people.
I work in medicine, and it's really good to have music as a relaxation, and I really appreciate being involved with this orchestra. It's the best orchestra I've played with over the course of my life, and it's a real privilege to be part of the first violin section alongside lots of professional musicians and very talented youngsters.
And their next concert will be on Saturday at the Hull City Hall.
It's an all-French programme, 2 bits of Berlioz, big 19th century pieces, and a lovely cello concerto by Saint-Saëns, who people might remember from Carnival of the Animals. Do come. Last 2 concerts we've done very well. We've had over 850 people come to support us, and we do need people to come and hear what we do. There's no point in us working hard for 10 weeks and playing to an empty hall, but we'd love to see another 800 people in there.
Being recognised as one of the nation's leading orchestras, here's to another 130 years. Erica Barker, Estuary TV.
You're watching Estuary TV News. A little later, we offer another lovely Dog of the Week, and Dan Kemp will bring you all the sports news. Humberside Fire and Rescue, aka the Fire Brigade, is running a programme in conjunction with the Prince's Trust to encourage young people to prepare themselves a little more for life by volunteering. Jamie Morris is here to tell me more. Jamie, thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you.
What is the programme exactly, and how do people get involved?
Well, the programme is designed to be 12 weeks full-time, and it's targeted at 16 to 25-year-olds who are currently unemployed within the local area. And the idea is that they come with us for those 12 weeks and engage in a range of different activities, developing the qualifications, personal skills, with the end result moving them on to a positive destination, whether that be education or employment.
Is it specifically activities that one would associate with what you call the Fire and Rescue Service? Do they get a chance to slide down a big brass pole?
They don't, unfortunately, but we compensate for that because they go on a outward bound residential course for a week. They do community projects, they do a 2-week wet placement, do career planning, and they all finish off with a final presentation where they're in front of dignitaries in the local area.
Well, let's unpack that a little bit. That going off for a residential course, that can be very important for these people, especially at the younger end of your spectrum. That might be the first time they've ever left home.
Yes, certainly. And the idea of the course is to push them, bring out the comfort zone, challenge them in different situations, to develop the teamwork, to develop their self-belief and self-esteem. Then once you've got that in the early stages of the course, that's a really good platform then for them to move forward into work or education.
And some of these more practical activities?
Oh, very much so, yeah. There's a combination of academic qualifications inbuilt within the course, but there's also a good element of practical hands-on activities that they'll get involved with.
And you say academic qualifications, practical qualifications as well. I mean, what sort of are these qualifications that involve a certificate at the end and that potential future employers might be able to recognise?
Very much so. All the qualifications that we offer are nationally recognised, ranging from the Princess Trust certificate itself, completing the course, to customer service, first aid, employability skills. So there's a whole raft of qualifications that they can get.
That business of a presentation at the end,
yes,
that's going to, well, that would make a few people's knees knock.
Very much so in the early stages, and quite likely up until the event. But by going through the course for the 12 weeks, we hope that we've given them the skills and the confidence to enable them to do that. And if they can do that in front of an audience, an invited audience, then that can only help them in interviews and life skills really going forward.
Well, after that they can do anything, absolutely. Does it cost them anything?
No, it's absolutely free. It won't affect any job seekers allowance. It's meant to help them, promote them, gain employment, which will obviously help them and help the local community.
Are there any qualifications they need to have before they can come onto this scheme?
No, the only thing they need is the motivation to want to participate, really. That's the drive we want. We want them to come actively participate and make the most of the 12 weeks.
How long has this scheme been running?
Nationally, it's been running from the 70s, the Princess Trust. Within Humberside, we've been running it now for just over 3 years. But nationally, lots of fire services deliver the team programme.
And do you have any sort of figures or any stats, as it were, of how successful? What's your rate of employment of people who've been on the scheme?
Yeah, exact statistical information like that is broken down for education and employment, but it's very high percentage. We have a very high percentage retention rate of people starting and ending the course. On the last course, for example, I think just over 50% moved on to employment, with the rest going into education or training. So it's not a guarantee, but it certainly puts young people in the right direction to move on into work, training or further education, really.
Well, that's an incredibly high success rate, isn't it?
It is, that's based on the last course, yeah.
What is it about the Fire and Rescue Service, or the Fire Brigade, that makes it so particularly well suited to giving this sort of encouragement to young people who might otherwise be feeling a bit lost?
Well, I think it's quite unique. We're not a traditional learning provider in terms of like a college or a school, but we're a disciplined service. I think people respond well to the brand, and it's an opportunity for young people to do something different, come to a fire station to learn and develop and get the ethos of the fire service, so the discipline, the timekeeping, attention to detail, and I think it just supports the delivery of the programme well.
And however disaffected you are, everybody loves a fireman or firewoman bold, don't they? It's not exactly a service that you can fail to admire.
Yeah, I think that...
you're bound to agree with me on that.
Yes, certainly. I think the brand certainly helps, not just the operational side, the community safety side of it, all the diverse range of departments we've got, which we support the local community, and ultimately the fire service is at the heart of the community.
How many people can you take on?
We can take 15 per course.
And the next course begins when?
18th of May, and we've got a taster session on the 12th of May, next Tuesday, 1:30 at Peaks Lane Fire Station.
Okay, so next Thursday, Peaks Lane Fire Station, and if people want to get in contact other ways, is there a website or?
Fire Service website or Fire Service Princess Trust Facebook page, or alternatively they can email me, jmorris@humbersardfire.gov.uk.
Jamie, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you very much, thank you.
Driving a horse-drawn carriage sounds like something out of a fairy tale, but one group does it every week in the Lincolnshire Wolds, and now they're widening their scheme to allow disabled people to learn the skill of carriage driving. Dave Nunn is in harness.
Riding through the sunny Lincolnshire countryside atop a horse-drawn cart sounds like a simple pleasure for many people. Now one Lincolnshire riding group is bringing that opportunity to disabled people.
Well, the carriage driving has been going on for about a year. We went away on a holiday to help at Estuary with the carriage driving, and thought what a fantastic idea, facility, and enabling so many people to access the outdoors. People that want to be involved with horses. If they're not able to ride, most people are able to carriage drive.
The Lincolnshire Wolds Riding for the Disabled group has been going for just under a year now and has 30 regular users who take treks out into the countryside with their ponies, Cracker and Danny. Getting people to experience the outside and form bonds with the horses is an important part of RDA's work.
I think it's amazing because these country tracks here, we're so lucky, aren't we, to have such a wonderful countryside. And these tracks here, I don't think there's any other way that people with certain disabilities could access that land, and they can sort of do it on equal footing with able-bodied people, and there aren't many sports that you can do that, are there? So
it's about building relationships as well, and being in contact with the horses, and just actually getting out.
The people who benefit the most from the volunteers' hard work are the service users, and one of those is Keith, a retired police officer who had 2 strokes, uses the service, and for him it's been a therapeutic and worthwhile experience.
I've been doing it now for about 7 or 8 months, and I really love it. It's very, very interesting and very, I suppose, therapeutic. Gets you out in the country and teaches you skills that you never use. It gives you a sense of freedom, yes, and the ability to still be able to control what you're doing, and it's really good. And so the RDA does a very good job in things like this. I'm very pleased to have found them.
This kind of reaction resonates well with the volunteers who put a lot of time and effort into the RDA.
So we're probably giving rides and drives to over 30 people, and we're all volunteers. I think that's quite important to mention, that everybody that does come, nobody's getting paid, and everybody gives their time and thoroughly enjoys it. It's fantastic charity.
A family fun charity day is to be held at Grimsby Institute next month, organised by the Institute and Cofferley Fabricom to raise money for the Alzheimer's Society, the RNLI and, inevitably, St Andrew's Hospice. Here to explain the is the Institute's Sue Middlehurst and Cofferley's Yvonne Day. Thank you very much, both of you, for coming in.
Thank you.
It sounds brilliant. Please, Yvonne, first of all, when is it going to be and where?
It's going to be held here, obviously, on the 6th of June, Saturday the 6th of June.
You better say where here is.
And Grimsby Institute,
okay.
Of course.
On the 6th of June, and why? What's it for?
Well, it was born out of the Health and Wellbeing Group within Cofferley Fabricom, and as part of our corporate social responsibility, we needed to get the message across not only to our employees, but also to their families and the wider community on health and wellbeing, and basically for the families to take part in fun events, to keep active, and also healthy eating.
And Sue, why here? Why Grimsby Institute?
Well, I think that when Yvonne was looking for an appropriate venue, and the fact that, you know, we're absolutely committed to working with the community, and really, you know, health and wellbeing is such an important aspect. And Yvonne said, well, we're doing the fun day, what do you think? And I said, well, you know, we're free on a Saturday, so why not?
And the Institute, it's got lots of open spaces. If it's a good sunny day, it's a rather beautiful venue as well, a very green venue. Is this going to be is it going to be an exhausting place to come to stay healthy and well?
Well, I think the whole point of it is fun. And having fun sometimes means some exercise and some fun and a few silly things. So we're hoping it's a really great day.
And what sort of activities will there be, Yvonne?
Well, there's obviously It's a Knockout, which is going to be hopefully the biggest draw, because obviously that's team participation. So it's getting teams of 10 together, doing fun activities and really getting against each other.
Now, It's a Knockout, that seems to be knocking people into paddling pools and with giant cotton buds and things like that.
Or something like that. But it's the fun aspect of it and a good bit of activity. Then we've got the football, which on the what you call here at the Grimsby Institute, the mugger, which is where the aqua turf is, where they can play.
We don't have a mugging course here, do we?
No, multi-use games area.
Yeah.
I see.
Mugger, yeah.
Okay.
So we've got the football on there, which Matt Bloomer from the Grimsby Institute is helping to coordinate that. And then the part which I'm not looking forward to, because I'm participating in it, is the over 40s triathlon.
You're not over 40, Yvonne, surely.
I am. And we're doing 26 miles. That's running, rowing and cycling with teams of 6 people. And it's the first person in the gym to the Humber Bridge.
That sounds absolutely exhausting. That's quite a challenge.
It is.
Why the charities that you've selected, Sue? The RNLI, St Andrew's Institute and Alzheimer's. Why those particularly?
Well, to be honest, Cofferley Fabricom, it's fundamentally their day, but we're working in partnership because we've worked very successfully with Cofferley Fabricom for a while now. But this is the first time really we've got engaged with their charity event, and I think the Institute's always been committed to working with charities. But as you know, my charity is St Andrew's Hospice, so it was an easy answer when Yvonne asked me would we engage with them.
Will you be taking part in any of these It's a Knockout activities?
I might consider it, but I've made sure we've got a team in the triathlon.
Right.
But I'm not part of that.
Okay, all right. Not everybody will have heard of Cofferley Fabricom or even know how to pronounce it correctly, I'm afraid. What is it?
Cofferley Fabricom is a multi-disciplined engineering company. So we do everything from feed studies right the way through to building power stations. We do everything for the oil, gas, power and renewable industry.
If I spent my days building power stations, I imagine I'd already be pretty healthy and fit and well.
Believe you me, there is quite a lot of people, excuse me, that don't understand healthy eating. They might think they're having the exercise, but really, when you get to the heart of it, they don't really understand.
Would you say that's true of the Institute as well, Sue?
Oh, I think there's some comparisons there, definitely.
Right. You want us all moving about and eating. more healthily, if not less.
Absolutely.
If people want to get involved, just remind us of the date and the venue, and if there's a website or anything like that people should get in contact with.
Yes, well, they can email us at Coakley Fabricom, and we have a dedicated line for that, or they can ring up and we can send out the details. It's by sponsorship, so each participant has to raise a minimum of £25, and we're aiming to raise £20,000.
Lovely. Well, very good with that, both of you. Thank you both very much for coming in.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Time now to revisit Sangreet Kennels to be introduced to another beautiful dog of the week.
Dog number 6 is called Lady, born 2014, so still really a young dog. She's a Staffy Cross Jack Russell. Just coming into season, so obviously she'll come with a neutering voucher so we can get her spayed straight away, and just a lovely friendly little dog.
And now here's Dan Kemp with all the sports news.
Tickets for the conference playoff final are now on general sale. Tickets for the fixture had been on sale to existing season pass holders, but now anyone wanting to watch the Mariners possibly return to the Football League can check out how to purchase tickets by visiting the club's website. Ahead of their relegation 6 points with Hull City on Saturday, Burnley have been boosted by a red card being rescinded. Centre-half Michael Duff was sent off during their defeat to West Ham on Saturday, but the FA have overturned the decision by referee John Moss. Burnley will be relegated if Hull beat them, and the Tigers will significantly boost their own chances of survival. City are currently just 1 point above the Premier League relegation zone. With the 2014-15 season now over for Scunthorpe United, plans to dig up and relay a new top layer to the pitch commenced earlier this week. With 2 months to prepare for the players' return to pre-season, there was no delay to proceedings at Glanford Park. The top 3 inches of turf will be removed, with new seeds planted beneath the grass. In Speedway, the first round of the Mitas British Youth Championship next weekend will feature the biggest entry list to date in the competition. Scunthorpe staged a 2015 opener on Sunday, May the 10th, and a total of 51 riders have signed up across 4 different classes. All this means a bumper 55 race programme is scheduled for race day. And finally, Hull Kingston Rovers have made a new signing today. 14-year-old Connor Lyons, who was left fighting for his life after collapsing with a blood clot on his brain, played the sport, will feature on the matchday programme team sheet and will wear squad number 41. Coach Chris Chester said he's delighted to be able to welcome Connor into the squad. Get in touch with any stories you've got for us. That's all from me for now. Bye.
That's all we have time for today. If you have a story for us, please go to our Facebook or Twitter pages. Details on the screen. Email news@estuary.tv or phone Grimsby 31553. Don't forget there'll be the election results programme tomorrow morning from 6 o'clock to 8 when I'll be joined by Austin Mitchell, Lord Norton of Louth, Andrew Deftly and Dave Laister of the Grimsby Telegraph. That'll be live tomorrow, 6 to 8. That's when you'll get all the results from the local politics, government and parliamentary tomorrow morning. Until tomorrow, good evening.
Estuary TV's weather, sponsored by Hornsby's, celebrating 100 years in buses.
Hello and welcome to Estuary TV's weather. A chilly but bright start to the day on Friday, and a dry morning to come with light winds, clouding over during the afternoon with some rain, turning heavier in the west, and a maximum temperature of 17 degrees. Windy and cool with showers on Saturday.
Estuary TV's weather, sponsored by Hornsby's, celebrating 100 years in buses.